This week's chapters are wild. Prophet is taken to heaven without dying. A river becomes a weapon. A foreign general is healed of a lifelong disease. And in the middle of it all, God keeps showing that his power doesn't wait for the perfect circumstances or for perfect people. But the week opens on something much smaller. A piece of cloth lying on a riverbank, dropped from a whirlwind. And the man who picked it up, he's wondering whether it works for him too. You see, in 2 Kings chapters 2 through 7, the biggest miracles aren't just the dramatic ones. They're the moments when God opens someone's eyes to reality. A servant suddenly sees the hills filled with heavenly armies. A king sees only threats. A general sees only disease. And this week, it's about vision and what you see, what you miss, and what God reveals when you're ready.
Seven times in the Jordan, watch me believe. I go down broken, I come up clean. Open my eyes to the hills, angels all around. Horses of fire, where fear back down. There is a prophet in Israel calling, you'll see. Call on him, call on him.
Welcome to Come Listen With Me. My name is Ricky Black, aka Elder Eleazar, and today is our Sunday, July 5th preview of week 28 in our ongoing 2026 Come Follow Me study of the Old Testament. Now this week we're reading 2 Kings chapters 2 through 7. There is a prophet in Israel. Now, yesterday we finished studying week 27 and completed 1 Kings. Hopefully you had plenty to contribute in discussions in church today. And we'll start reading tomorrow. But as usual, we're going to spend today forecasting the week a little, so that way we're ready to go come Monday morning. And as always, there's already a new song out this week to pair with your study. Now, for the reading, 6 chapters in 6 days, and one question underneath all of them. See, 2 Kings chapter 2 takes Elijah up in a whirlwind, and then the next 5 chapters ask whether anything real ever came back down. See, Elisha's request at the river sounds strange on first read. Let a double portion of thy spirit be upon me. Until you learn where the phrase comes from. See, Deuteronomy 21:17 uses it for the eldest son's share of an estate. What Elisha wants is the heir's place, and everyone standing on the river would have heard it exactly that way. And that's where the cultural context really comes into play. We're going to pay attention to those sorts of things all week long. Now, the Old Testament doesn't grant recognition by announcement. It grants it by evidence as well, particularly when it comes to prophets. So every chapter this week is an exhibit. Water, oil, bread, iron, armies. And by about the middle of the week, about Thursday, the testimony of Elisha's inherited mantle is spoken from the last mouth that you'd expect. It really is an exciting week of reading, and it's very, very fascinating. So here's the day by day. Monday, 2 Kings chapter 2, the whirlwind, the fallen mantle, and Elijah's first act. Striking the Jordan and asking, where is the Lord God of Elijah? The water splits, and so does public opinion. So we're going to watch what happens at Bethel, where a mob decides the whole ascension story, it has to be some sort of joke. On Tuesday, we're going to move forward to chapter 3. 3 kings, they march into the desert after Moab and run out of water in 7 days. Then a minstrel plays and prophecy follows. This campaign also has a paper trail outside of the Bible. See, Moab's own king carved his version into the stone around 840 BC. And we'll put on the Mesha Stele on screen, and we're going to look at what it has to say as we read through this chapter. Now, on Wednesday is going to be chapter 4. So 4 miracles, and the biggest crowd any of them draws is a household. So not much, right? A widow's oil, the Shunammite's rooftop room, a poisoned pot, 20 loaves feeding 100 men. So it's prophecy, but really at the scale of, the kitchen table here, right? The single family. Now, Thursday is going to be chapter 5, and that is the chapter where we're going to get the theme for this week. Now, Naaman is a decorated Syrian general with leprosy, and everything about his healing, it just runs backwards. See, the tip comes from a captive servant girl. The prophet never comes to the door, and the cure is an errand so small that it actually insults the king. Almost. And then on Friday, we're going to read chapter 6. A borrowed axe head, well, it ends up floating. And a terrified servant gets his eyes open on a hillside full of fire. And then the mood, it's going to drop. it's going to be hard, right? There's going to be a siege, a famine, and one of the more darker passages in Kings, which we'll handle plainly and mostly on the screen here. So, and then on Saturday, last day of reading, is going to be the final chapter, chapter 7. The famine finally breaks in a single day, exactly as prophesied. And the news arrives by the way of 4 lepers with nothing left to lose. So stay for the man who scoffed at the prophecy. The text gives him the week's most precise ending. Now, all of our reading, it points towards one sentence spoken about a foreign general. About a foreign general who hasn't been healed yet, and that is in 2 Kings chapter 5, verse 8. It says, "And it was so, when Elisha, the man of God, had heard that the king of Israel had rent his clothes, that he sent to the king, saying, Wherefore hast thou rent thy clothes? Let him come now to me, and he shall know that there is a prophet in Israel." He shall know there's a prophet in Israel. Not might know, he shall know. So 6 days reading from now, that confidence will look like it's either justified or it was reckless. So read along this week and decide for yourself. All right, so how to study this week. The 6-day reading guide, it's linked below. It's really simple, 6 chapters, 6 days, right? And a short focus for each chapter, 2 questions to read along with it in the guide. So print it, keep it on your phone, bring your answers to the comment section because it's going to be a great week for discussion. Also, the song of the week, there is a prophet in Israel. I love this one. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of got a nice little bop and groove to it. I think you'll really enjoy it. But it's also linked below, and it's also available wherever you stream music. So the chorus is actually built on Naaman's 7 trips under the water. So listen all week, and everything will surface at exactly the right moment in your reading. And this week, we're going to have a deep dive article again. It's going to be posted on the Substack. It's going to be called Double Portion. It's what Elisha actually asked for at the river and why the answer took 6 chapters to actually eventually arrive. So it's got a lot of great information. You're going to enjoy it. Now, I'm really looking forward to this week, and I hope you are too. But before you go, if you've read these chapters before, drop a comment with the scene that your memory kind of has brought to mind first, right? The chariots, the axe head, the 7 dips, the empty camp, something else. Like, what are you really looking forward to studying again as we go through it this week? So the reading guide's ready to go, linked in the description. The double portion deep dive goes up on Substack later this week. And if the request at the river grabbed you, that's where we'll explore what really was Elisha was asking for. And tomorrow we start reading 2 Kings chapter 2, the whirlwind, the man striking a river with his master's coat, and to find out what he actually inherited. And of course, keep the song of the week close at hand and listen on repeat. 7 dips, 1 chorus, and you'll see how it all comes together as we read. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. I'll see you back here tomorrow as we begin our reading. But until then, as always, I appreciate you all, and thank you for choosing to spend some of your precious time to come listen with me.
Down broken, I come up clean. Open my eyes to the hills, angels all around. Horses of fire, where fear back down. There is a prophet in Israel. Call and you'll see it. Call on him, call on him. There is a prophet in Israel. Call on him, fall on him. Call on him, call on him. And watch the river part.